It all began the night Daniel confronted his wife, Emily. He had uncovered a string of late-night messages, and there was no mistaking their meaning. She had been unfaithful. The betrayal cut him deeply, but what made it worse was the way Emily tried to dismiss it as a careless slip, pleading with him to move past it. But Daniel wasn't the same man he had been before the truth surfaced. Something inside him had hardened. He understood that forgiveness didn't mean pretending nothing had happened. Looking her directly in the eyes, he spoke words that left her stunned. Never again. You've broken something that can't be repaired. No more intimacy. No more trust. Emily froze, her lips parted in shock. She had expected shouting, tears, maybe even threats of divorce, but not this. His calm, final tone shook her more than anger ever could. From that moment on, Daniel grew distant. They still lived under the same roof, still spoke about bills and daily routines, but all warmth had vanished. The playful touches, the soft goodnight kisses, the inside jokes, they were gone. He carried himself like a man who had stopped giving away pieces of his heart. Emily soon realized her affair hadn't just been a fleeting indulgence. It had shattered the bond she once assumed would never break. She tried everything to win him back, cooking his favorite meals, leaving notes on his desk, even dressing up the way she used to. But Daniel's eyes no longer lit up when they landed on her. He was civil, but no longer affectionate. It was as if an invisible wall now stood between them, one she could see but never cross. At night, whenever she reached for him, he would pull away. His words echoed in her mind. No more intimacy. For Daniel, intimacy wasn't only physical, it meant trust, closeness, and vulnerability. And Emily had traded all of that for a fleeting thrill with another man. Now she was discovering the real price of her choice. Their friends noticed the change too. At gatherings, Daniel no longer held her hand or placed an arm around her shoulders. When asked if everything was okay, Emily forced a smile and insisted they were fine, though inside, she was crumbling. Daniel never offered an explanation. To him, their marriage was only a shell now, something he maintained for appearances and obligations. One evening, Emily finally broke down in front of him. She confessed again, begged again, and swore she would never stray. Tears streamed down her face as she clutched his hands. Daniel, please, I love you. I made a mistake. Don't shut me out forever. His reply was steady, almost cold. You didn't make a mistake. You made a choice. And with that choice, you lost me. Those words echoed in her mind for days. She began losing sleep, replaying the night. She had confessed everything. She thought about the man she had risked it all for, realizing he had disappeared from her life as quickly as he had entered it. He had walked away untouched, while she had lost her husband, her peace, and her self-respect. Daniel, on the other hand, found an unexpected peace in his decision. He no longer lived in denial, nor did he live in pain. By setting boundaries, he had reclaimed control. He knew he might never love Emily again, not the way he once had, but he refused to let her betrayal determine his future happiness. The house grew colder as the months passed. Shared meals became silent, and laughter turned into a memory. Emily began to understand that what she had done could never be undone, and that no apology could stitch the wound she had created. She had believed their marriage was strong enough to survive anything, but Daniel's ultimatum proved that some lines, once crossed, erase everything. Friends eventually asked why they were still together if the relationship was so broken. Daniel's answer was always the same. We're not together the way you think. We just share a house. His blunt honesty startled people, but he no longer cared about appearances. For him, living authentically meant not pretending love still existed where betrayal had burned it to ashes. Emily carried regret with her every day. She wished she could turn back time, wished she had valued Daniel's loyalty when she still had it. Instead, she lived with the crushing knowledge that she had destroyed the one person who had loved her without condition. And Daniel's quiet strength, his refusal to compromise his ultimatum, made it clear nothing would ever return to the way it once was. In the end, Daniel didn't seek revenge. His decision was punishment enough. By denying Emily the intimacy and trust she desperately craved, he forced her to face the true cost of betrayal. And every morning she awoke beside his distant presence, she was reminded, some wounds never heal, and some ultimatums are final.